All right, so the first thing I want to talk about are the things that I'm going to leave in 2022. Um, but before we do that, we're going to go in with our Power Grip Primer. This one is not old, it's new. Um, so it's about the newest thing that I have out here in front of me. But some of this other stuff I've only used like once, so it'll be new to me. But anyways, um, the first thing I want to leave in 2022, first and foremost, is self-doubt. I've had so many good things happen this year, like in the midst of, doubting myself or anything like that. Like the moment I felt like, oh, maybe this isn't gonna work out, I did it. And it got me a lot of different types of success that I didn't know I would achieve, I guess. I don't know. It's like I always thought it was capable, but I just didn't know when or if it would ever happen. And so now that I kind of jumped off the bridge with that one, it's just no more. I feel like at this point, any type of feelings that I feel that's like a little bit of trepidatious or fear or anything, I'm just gonna embrace that and take it as a sign that something great is about to happen. All right, I'm going in with the Sephora Best Skin Ever. This is in the shade 50N. If you use me as a shade match. I used this once in the summertime, and then I ended up getting a crazy tan. So it literally only got used once. Which one of these? I think this is the one I've been using to blend out, just because it's just lighter. Anywho's, yeah, so, okay. Self-doubt for sure. And I would just say to anybody like who's doubting themselves, doubting their talents, doubting their path, just trust your gut and know that if it's for you, it's going to happen. If it's for you, you're gonna do the work that's necessary. And if it's for you, just because one area of something didn't happen, you're not just gonna stop. I talked about it in another one of my videos about like building blocks. You have to set a goal, but then you have to do the stuff underneath that goal. So just make sure that if it's something that you want to go after, do everything underneath that subset of goals to get you to those places. You cannot run before you learn how to just stand on your own 2 feet. Like at this point, I think we all can crawl, but you cannot run until you stabilize yourself on your own 2 feet. And that's literally setting the foundation of everything that you want to do. So set the foundation for yourself and start taking those steps. I think I want to do another layer. I'm gonna be extra today. So set that foundation and start taking those steps. And know that you are not gonna run immediately. Like success is not overnight. The internet will make you think that, it happened quick or anything like that. But if you really look at like your favorite actor or your favorite YouTuber or anything like that, and you really check their catalog, like Viola Davis, for instance, a lot of people think she was catapulted into success after The Help. But some of her best roles, some of her best monologues and stuff like that came from when she was just on screen alongside like Meryl Streep or somebody for 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, because she simply loved what she did. She wanted to be an actress. She didn't want to be famous, or she wasn't seeking fame or anything like that. She wanted to act, and that meant booking jobs. It meant keeping her eyes on her craft and doing the things that she needed to do to stay a working actress. The stuff that came afterwards was all just a culmination of her continuing to develop, hone, and love her craft. So keep putting in that work, y'all. This truly is the best skin ever. Definitely keeping this in here. My winter shade is on and popping. Next, I'm gonna go back to some oldie but goodies with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I got one that's kind of light and one that's really light. We'll see if I double up on that. So while we're applying this, next I'm leaving inconsistencies. So I learned a lot about what consistency actually means. And at first I thought consistency, oh, I want to use a brush. At first I thought consistency meant like, okay, do this one thing or these many things and do it all the time, over and over and over and over and over. And honestly, that's where a lot of my self-doubt came in, because I was getting burnt out and I just was like, there's not enough of me to stay consistent in the things that I want to do. But what I ended up learning while I talk, what I ended up learning is I needed to stay consistent with me, and I needed to stay consistent with my development versus trying to stay consistent with like a thing. So what do I mean by that? I have a YouTube channel, I got a plant page, I got my regular Instagram page. I do video reels for like acting, monologues, stuff like that. I got a Snapchat. I got a TikTok, but honestly, I mostly got a TikTok to just have my name taken on TikTok so that it wouldn't get taken by somebody else or whatever, because people be doing that weird stuff. But I learned that, like, man, it's kind of impossible to like keep stuff going all the time on all of those platforms. But what can I do? Instagram, honestly, is where I think the culmination of my hobbies and the work that I do. I showcase the stuff that's on my plant page. I post stuff about my YouTube videos, new and old and stuff like that. So it's like, as long as I'm consistently pushing all of my stuff out there, I'm consistent. Maybe I didn't make a reel today on Instagram, but I uploaded a YouTube video. So I'm gonna make a reel out of a snippet of something that I put on another platform and put it on a different platform so that they can all work together. And I learned that the biggest thing with consistency is me is just keeping myself in the mix, keeping myself in the algorithm, because something that I talked about months ago or years ago or weeks ago could be the thing that I post today that gets the right person looking at the right time. And that is gonna get me into some other doors without me burning myself out like a freaking mad woman. I'm gonna use a little bit of this light one. So the first shade I use, so this is the Camo Concealer Matte Finish, not the Hydro. And this was in Cinnamon. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of this in Medium Beige. And the reason I wanted to use this concealer is because I was watching old videos last night, and the way that it was blending out on my face, I was like, oh my God, what concealer do I have in my bag that is getting this much coverage and this much of a flawless finish? Like, I do not have to set this concealer at all. Anyways, so yeah, leaving the inconsistencies in there, and what I'm leaving with those inconsistencies is how I viewed consistency in the first place. So at this point, I am very happy with how consistent I am. And then oddly enough, I'm a night owl, and I find that when I share certain things on my stories at like between 11 and 1 a.m., I will wake up and have like 70 something views on my stories. And I think this probably means that either a lot of people are up late with me, or a lot of people that view my stories live on the West Coast because they're 2 hours behind. So at this point, I'm just gonna post when I feel like it or when I'm feeling inclined versus trying to chase the right time of day and the right content and the right this and that. Like, just doing it builds that. And by doing it is where I'm seeing the things play out versus chasing when I'll get the most engagement, if that makes any sense. Blend around those edges. What else am I leaving in 2022? Yeses. I've learned this year I love saying no, but I don't know, this year, something about being strategic about saying no to things so that the moment I say yes, it amounts to something. That's in work, that's in my regular life. Let's see. I'm about to set my areas that I use a concealer with the Fenty setting powder pro filter. This is the shade Honey. I don't want it to be too cakey, so I'm gonna use the same brush that I used to blend it out underneath my eyes. Cause this, I'm taking a risk because this setting powder is very, 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 very matte. Anyways, yeah, so like with work, there's been, people, oh, compete and do this and go up for this, or you'll be good for this, you're this, and you're like the epitome of this and that and the third. And it's like, can I? Yes. Do I want to? No. And I have been really back and forth on this decision for like the whole year, to be honest. In saying yes would have been easy, but would it have made me happy? No. And would it have changed anything or benefited me in a way that's going to get me to the goals that I actually want to do? No. So I said no. And in no longer overextending myself at work or doing things because people believe in me and stuff like that, or I represent or hold some type of whatever in their minds, the yeses that I have gotten have been out of this world. I literally am just stunned at how my life is right now. Like, I've never been happier in my adult life than I am right now. And it's because I've learned, pick up my mirror, I've learned to just do for me. And I learned that just because I'm good at something doesn't mean that that's what I should be doing at that point in time. Yeah, so just because you're good at something or you have like a skill at something, if it's not bringing you happiness, if it's not working in a way that's going to get you to where you ultimately want to be, then don't do it. And don't allow people to pressure you into doing something that you genuinely don't want to do. I am a passionate person. I've talked about that on my page before. Ooh, okay. I was going to use the hydrating chemical concealer for a bronze effect, but I think I'm going to just set the rest of my face and then just go in with bronzer because that thing is dark. So I'm going to set the rest of my face with the Wet n Wild, I forgot what type this is. Wet n Wild loose setting powder. This is the shade Deep, and this is the Photo Focus powder. Yeah. I do not have a light hand when it comes to this. All right, so anyways, yeah, just because you're good at it don't mean that you need to do it. And if it's not bringing you happiness or anything like that, and you're not passionate about it, like if you're literally only gonna do it just to be going through the motions, then why are you doing it? And that's with anything. Relationships, career, meeting up with friends, stuff like that. Like if you're just gonna be going through the motions, that type of energy is not needed in that setting. And those who want to be in that room or in that competition or in that location are gonna feel that energy, and then now they're gonna be looking at you like, why are you even here? And then you're gonna be wondering to yourself, why am I here? Why am I doing this? So leave yeses. Some of this spilled out on my desk, so I'm gonna scoop it up and put it on my face. So leave those yeses to the people that actually want it, so that the yeses that you actually want amount to something. Gonna go in with the Makeup Revolution X Patricia Bright Face Palette. This is the You Are Gold face palette. We're gonna use the bronzer and this blush. So those are the three major things that I'm leaving in 2022. So what are some things that I'm taking into 2022 without basically saying the opposite of what I said when I said I was leaving things? I'm gonna give three new things that I'm taking into 2022, into 2023. So the first thing that I'm taking into 2023 is the old me. So a lot of people be like, oh, new year, new me, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes you gotta like look back on who you were some years ago before like pivotal things happen in your life, and just look at the vibrancy and the life and the ideas and the creativity and stuff that you had before that one thing changed that kind of made you stop doing that. And for me, like I said, I was looking at old YouTube videos of mine, and I was spitting, y'all. Like, I was spitting. I was way less comfortable in front of the camera than I am now, but I found like videos where when I got into my groove of something that I was talking about, and it's everything that I still feel today, like nothing has changed. The only thing that changed was just me going through a divorce, feeling low, doubting myself, feeling like maybe, I wouldn't get to where I wanted to be because I wasn't getting the support that I felt like I should have been getting. Feeling like I was trying to reach a goal on my own. So going back to who I was in that, and looking at the videos of when I was like freshly divorced, and, watching myself knowing that I was a little bit scared, but going back to the things that made me happy, like makeup, listening to myself. Like, I literally was watching my videos, listening to my own advice and taking my own notes. And so in that, I told myself, you know what? Yes, I want to have fresh content, but why not just recycle the content that I had that really still resonates with me today? And it has some cute little looks, you know what I mean? Like, it has some cute little looks in there. I have a bigger following now than I did. I have more confidence now than I did, and I know how to market myself much better than I was doing before. So I'm actually able to just like remix some things and have better energy behind it. So bringing the old me into 2023 is like first and foremost. All right, actually watching one of my old videos, I came across this palette, the I Love You Forever by Violet Voss eyeshadow palette. These are the shades. You can see this is barely used, but this is a gorgeous palette. I'm wearing black boots today. We just, you know what? Let's start with Endless Desire all over the lid. Oh yeah, that's going perfect with my blush. All right, so the next thing that I am bringing into 2023, give me a second, is my personality. I had been, okay, I'll say my personality and vulnerability. I'll put those together because when I first started my YouTube channel, or just knowing that I wanted to be a certain way on the internet, I guarded a lot of who I was. And in watching some of those old videos, I would speak like robotic, or like sometimes I would just be really robotic in what I was saying because I was trying to be super careful, and am I choosing the right word, or does this make sense? And I had a lot more editing, especially in YouTube. I had a lot more edits and jump cuts and this and that and the third. I don't know why my camera was shaking. This and that and the third, because I wanted it to be near perfect. But when I had started my podcast, there was one episode that I started crying on there, and it resonated with so many people. I realized that I could still be me and still present myself a certain way, but being vulnerable wasn't going to be like a bad thing. Like, I learned being vulnerable with the people that's looking at me and watching me or coming to me for whatever, laughs, insight, whatever, is not a bad thing, and it's not a scary thing. And I found that my vulnerability got me, literally my vulnerability got me my partnership with Snapchat. Like, just talking about how I wanted to get myself together mentally and really focus on the things that make me happy, is what got me through doors. Going into the acting competition, crying in one of my monologues, like legit crying, it kind of jumped out, got me into these places. And I learned that there's power in my vulnerability. I'm gonna deepen this up with Charmed. That's that darker brown. But that vulnerability is what got me so much more than I could have ever imagined. And it allows me to be more of myself on my platforms. Like, I rarely edit when I do videos now. Only time I really edit is when I go off on a tangent. I rarely edit when I make reels. When I do reels now, I'll typically like put it on like a time lapse and just do what I would normally do while it's going, because the time lapse is going to make it look how I want it to look anyway. And I'm not censoring my goofiness or anything like that. Because honestly, I'm 33. I'm not about to be out here. Now, shout out to everybody who's older than me doing all the different things on the TikToks and the Reels and all this extra stuff. I'm not doing that. If you want that type of content, like, honestly, this is not it, because that's too much work, and that's not who I am. I'm not out here seeking to do the next thing that's gonna go viral and get me this and get me that. I'm not doing that. That's too much. I'm gonna leave that for the newer kids. I'm gonna leave that for that generation. When I was younger and the cool things were cool, I was doing all those things. Now, I'm not that age no more, so I don't care about it. This is cute. Yeah, I'm not that age no more, so that's not some things that I'm looking at, so I'm not gonna do that. Some of my bigger like views and stuff like that have nothing to do with being cool or like the TikTok girl. Like, I'm not doing that. I think I'm gonna go in with olive glow and then juicy. Maybe something bigger. Yeah, so I'm not doing that. The kids can have it. This is content for those who just want to chill and see some things in the raw. And then lastly, what I'm bringing into 2023 is vlogging. I used to look at vlog videos and be like, hell no, I'm not doing that. Like, it seemed like so much work. And honestly, I feel like it probably is a lot of work for those who um know, like, for those who vlog for the how do I put this? If you're vlogging for like the monetization and not necessarily for the joy of vlogging and capturing your day, it definitely comes off that way. Like, you can tell these days. And I remember when I used to first watch vlogs, not everybody, but some of the people that I followed, their vlogs were so fun and interesting, and I could just put them on and go about my day and do my makeup or do my hair. But after a while, it seemed like some people just started to vlog for like specific purposes, or like, I don't know, it just wasn't authentic anymore. And then it just kind of seemed like that was the wave. So I stopped watching vlogs altogether. I used to love vlogs. Like, I watched the people who I followed on YouTube, them 40-minute videos, hour videos. I would literally just set up, get some popcorn, and throw it on the TV or just chill. But then like YouTube started getting bogged down with like fake content, and I don't know, it was just weird. So then my girlfriend's like, oh, you should vlog, you should vlog, you should vlog. People need to see like what you do. And it wasn't that I was doing anything interesting. I was just being dumb. And so I'm like, okay. First thinking like, dang, that seems like a lot of work. But honestly, when you just turn the camera on, when you're just, and then walk away, like some stuff, I'll turn the camera on and forget that the camera is on because I'm just not thinking about it. And I know like myself and Christina, we had a conversation about this with like reels or like showing like a day in the life of, when you don't think about it, you just turn the camera on and you're just doing the stuff that you do and you just got something going for a while. Like, it's easy. It is easy. Cut this, trim this, piece this together, and boom, you're done. Let me just blend all of this. This is a little bit more extra than I thought it would be. Because I was like, oh, I'm not going to do nothing crazy. So I'm not going to put on no lashes. But I might have to put on some lashes. Now y'all know. Let me do this off camera, y'all. So I put on my lashes, the same lashes that you've been seeing this whole time. While doing my wings, like y'all already know, like what I'm not bringing into 2023 is doing wing liner on camera. I just cannot, will not, won't not. However, my lips though brought back an oldie but goodie. So I lined them with my regular ColourPop brown lip liner as well as black eyeliner. But I brought back Queen, this matte lipstick. This, like, people used to always be like, what is on your lip? What's your lip combination? Blah, 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 blah. And masks happened. It was like so many other things, obviously, like everybody else. We wasn't really putting much on our lips. And then when masks got lifted, everybody was just doing lip gloss because our lips was dry for the better part of 18 months. So now we're back seeing the old me a little bit, seeing some hair that I have not worn in forever, especially since I've been blonde. But still gonna wear my blonde wigs, but I dyed my actual hair back black so I can incorporate these because the blonde wigs are not lace front or anything like that, so I don't have to have blonde like baby hair and stuff to match. Anyways, last thing I want to say that I am leaving in 2022 is perfection. I was a perfectionist, like crazy. Like, I don't know. I talked about like editing and stuff like that. Like I would edit myself, and now I'm bringing more vulnerability into things and more of my personality. That comes with shedding perfection. And I think all year I've been on this journey of letting that go. But I ended up getting a call back from one of the talent agencies that was judging the acting competition that I did. And when we did the callback, we were all like on Zoom. So the people that she wanted to meet with, and we had to prepare one of the monologues. We submitted 3. So we had to prepare one of the monologues. We could do any one that we want, that she had already seen, but we were doing it like, boom, cold read. And I chose the one from The Devil Wears Prada, and I was doing it, and then I like messed up, and I think I was just in my head, and then I stopped, and she was like, why did you stop? And I was just like, I wanted it to be like a certain way. And she was just like, that's the thing about acting, like sometimes you just gotta get absorbed in it and get lost in it, get lost in the words, get lost in the emotion, and just do it how you would do it how you would say it, regardless of what the words are, because sometimes the best thing that you could present is a mistake. And so I did it, and I was like envisioning who I was talking to and the situation that was revolving the scene, and connected it to the situation that I went through in real life. And it was just so much better, even better than what I submitted in the audition. So with that, I just kind of learned, like, you know what? My mistakes, there's fun in my mistakes, there's growth in my mistakes. And sometimes what I thought I wanted, the mistake got me something better. So definitely leaving that in 2023, and in 2022, y'all already know. And bringing imperfection and embracing imperfection in 2023. So those are the 4 things that I'm leaving and the 4 things that I'm bringing. And here's to an even better and even brighter year. So with that, I'm gonna wrap up this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. Follow me on all my social platforms: Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all under the name of Kivonshe. Get it into your name, get it into your brain, because this is a brand, okay? Kivonshe, she is me because she is bougie. With that, I'm about to leave because I'm hungry. Goodbye.